Ratio analysis, sectional analysis, liquidity trend. For company Genting Malaysia Berhad, and analysis for year 2023 and year 2024. The bar chart showed that the current ratio of Genting Malaysia Berhad for year 2023 is 1.96, and year 2024 is 1.29. It showed that 2023 is more highest than 2024. For the quick ratio, Genting get 1.91 for 2023 and 1.23 for 2024. It showed that 2023 also highest than 2024. For the cash ratio, for the 2023 they get 1.24, and 2024 they get 1.06. This also showed that 2023 is more highest than 2024. So overall, what can I conclude from Genting Malaysia Berhad for year 2023 and 2024 is the company abilities to pay short-term liabilities in year 2023 and year 2024.
Hello, my name is Fatina Najwa binti Abdul Sattar. My matric number H24A3105. Today I will present a cross analysis of liquidity ratios between Genting Malaysia Berhad and Magma Berhad. Starting with the current ratio, Genting Malaysia Berhad has 1.29 ratio 1 and Magma Berhad is higher at 1.75 ratio 1. This ratio shows how well a company can pay short-term debts using current asset. Magma Berhad is higher ratio means it has more current asset relative to its liability, so it looks stronger in the short term. Next, the quick ratio, which include inventory. Genting Malaysia Berhad stand at 1.23 ratio 1, while Magma Berhad is 0.77 ratio 1. This tells us Genting Malaysia Berhad can cover short-term obligation more easily with liquid asset, whereas Magma Berhad relies more on inventory that is not immediately cashable. Lastly, the cash ratio, which is Genting Malaysia Berhad as 1.06 ratio 1 compared to Magma Berhad 0.39 ratio 1. This means Genting Malaysia Berhad is in a better position to pay immediate obligation if needed, while Magma Berhad may face difficulties. In conclusion, even though Magma Berhad has a higher current ratio, Genting Malaysia Berhad is stronger in quick and cash ratios. This shows that Genting Malaysia Berhad is in a healthier position to meet short-term obligations and manage unexpected expenses. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Amalina binti Rosdi. My matrix number is 24A3672. Let's examine how Genting Malaysia is managing its debt and ensuring long-term stability. First, if we look at the debt to equity and debt to asset ratio, there is a slight increase. For example, the debt to asset ratio went from 55% up to 57%. In simple terms, this means the company is relying somewhat more on borrowed money this year to operate the business. It is not a huge change, but it is a trend worth watching. Next is the interest coverage ratio. This tells us how easily the company can pay the interest on its loan. In 2023, they were generating 2.4 times the profit need to cover interest, but by 2024, they had dropped to 2.04 They are still in C spot, but their breathing rooms has narrowed a bit because interest costs are eating up more of their profit. Lastly, we look at their overall stability using the Altman Z-score factors. Most of these, like working capital and retained earnings, dip slightly. They show that their cash position is a bit tighter than last year. However, there is a silver lining. Their asset turnover actually improved from 35% to 38%. This means they are getting better at generating sales from their asset turn on. To write out, Genting is still in a stable position, but they are carrying more debt and have less cash compared to last year. The goal for next year should be to manage those interest payments while continuing to grow their sales.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nabila binti Ibrahim, my number matri H24833216. So, today I like to present the cross efficiency ratio analysis between Genting Malaysia Berhad and Magma Berhad for the year 2024. Focusing on three key ratios is asset turnover ratio, inventory turnover ratio, and account receivable turnover. For the asset turnover ratio, Genting record 0.380 compared to Magma is 0.060, showing that Genting is more efficient in utilizing its asset to generate sales. And in terms of inventory turnover ratio, Genting demonstrated outstanding performance with 45.7, while Magma only achieved its 0.035, indicating Genting highly effective inventory management. However, for account receivable turnover, Magma score higher at 0.604 compared to Genting is 0.380, which suggests Magma is more efficient in collecting debts from customers. Overall, Genting Malaysia Berhad performed better in 2 out of the 3 ratios analysis, particularly in asset utilization and inventory management. While Magma Berhad needs to improve its overall operational efficiency. That concludes our presentation. So, thank you.
This bar chart compares the solvency ratio of Genting Malaysia Berhad for the years 2023 and 2024. First, the debt to equity ratio increased from 1.02 in 2023 to 1.12 in 2024. This shows that the company really more on debt relative to shareholder equity in 2024, indicating a slight increase in financial risk. Next, the debt to asset ratio rose from 45% to 47%. This means a higher proportion of the company asset was financed by debt in 2024. However, the increase is small, suggesting the company leverage is still under control. Finally, the interest coverage ratio decreased from 2.40 times to 2.04 times. This indicates that the company's ability to cover interest expenses from operating earnings has weakened slightly, although it remains able to meet its interest obligation. Overall, the bar chart shows that Genting Malaysia Berhad experienced higher debt level and slightly lower interest coverage in 2024, but the company remains financially solvent.
The solvency ratio analysis for 2024, comparing Genting Malaysia Berhad and Magma Berhad. Solvency means how strong a company is in paying back its debt. For the debt to equity ratio, Genting scored 1.12 while Magma scored 1.21. This shows Magma used more debts compared to Genting Malaysia Berhad. For the debt to asset ratio, Genting is 47% and Magma Berhad is 43%. This means Genting Berhad has more of its assets financed by debt. The interest coverage ratio is very different. Genting has 2.04, which means it can pay its interest. Magma has minus 3.82, which means it cannot cover its interest and is in trouble. Looking at the Z-score, Genting shows positive numbers in working capital, retained earning, EBIT, market value of equity, and sales. Magma shows negative numbers in retained earning and EBIT, which is a sign of weak solvency. In short, Genting is stronger in solvency, while Magma is facing the financial problems.
Sectional analysis profitability trend for 2023 and 2024. Both of this year show that the amount are not consistent. This is because gross profit margin, net profit margin, and ROE for 2023 are more highest than 2024. And for ROA, for year 2023, they get more lowest, which is they only get 0.01% compared to the year 2024. They get highest, which is the amount is 5.66%. This show that gross profit margin, net profit margin, and ROE are consistent, while ROA are not consistent.
High profitability. Profitability shows how well a company makes money. For gross profit margin, Genting has 23.4%, while Magma has minus 0.90. This shows Genting is better at controlling costs and earning profit. For net profit margin, Genting has 1.5%, but Magma has minus 3.06, which means Magma is losing money. Return on equity also shows a big difference. Genting has 1.36%, while Magma has minus 0.51%. This means Genting gives some return to shareholders, but Magma does not. For return on assets, Genting has 0.57%, while Magma has minus 0.18. Genting uses its assets more effectively. In short, Genting is more profitable, while Magma is struggling to make returns.